Neuroscience is very efficient to explain breakups, to explain also and help you make the right decision and understanding what you're going through after a breakup. I'm going to share with you 6 fun facts based on studies that I read recently regarding breakups, and I think it's very important for you to learn about those facts, because sometimes we're confused, we feel guilty about how we feel, and so understanding that it's just how we are built and how to overcome those mechanisms that sometimes are very unconscious can really lift your confidence, boost your confidence, helping you make the right decision, take some distance from the situation, and increase your chance of getting back with your ex, because at the end of the day, I guess that's what you want to do. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
First of all, the pain. You might be feeling in so much pain and feel like, okay, that's weird. How can I suffer like this? Some people outside, maybe your friends and your family, will tell you like, you shouldn't cry like this. He's just a partner. Even though you were married, I understand, but you shouldn't feel this pain. However, if you look at studies, this one is from Edward Smith, who did a study in 2011, and he looked at a brain scan of people after breakups, and when he was showing pictures of their ex-partners, the same area in the brain was activated, the same area that was responsible for the physical pain. So in a way, how you feel about the breakup is the same as physical pain. And don't feel guilty, don't feel that you're weird, don't feel that you're weak. It is completely normal. It's a natural reaction, because bonding, being attached to someone, is one of our core needs. And if we look at brain development, anything that prevents us from meeting our essential needs, for example, sleep, eating, and then connection, you will create physical pain. And so, because back in the days in the jungle, being attached to someone was a way for us to survive and also to spread our DNA. So that's the first thing, the pain. The pain is real. It's not about you being weak or seeing things the wrong way. It's totally normal. The second thing is, I don't remember who said that, but love is the mother of all addictions. And if we look at, again, at the molecular level, what's going on in our brain, the same area are activated than the drug addiction. It's exactly so. If we look into detail, the ventral tegmental, the caudate nuclei, and the nucleus accumbens. Basically, the brain responds the same way as drug addicts. So the way you feel about the breakup is extremely similar to withdrawal syndromes of people being addicted to cocaine or heroin. Again, it's very much in the chemical of your brain. It's nothing to do with your willpower. And so that's why sometimes we tend to be obsessed. We create this obsession about our ex because we want this drug. And when you're a drug addict, you're obsessed about the thing you can't have. That's why you have those feelings of craving. That's why you keep on checking their Instagram, keep on checking their WhatsApp status, because you want that rush, you want that fix. Okay? And this is why no contact is also very, very efficient from both a pain point of view and the addiction point of view. If you want to stop smoking, ditch your pack of cigarettes from home and don't hang out with people who are smoking. It's the same. Don't keep any pictures of your ex. Unfollow them from social media. Because the idea that, it's harmful to just see what they're up to, it is not. It's going to bring you back and it's going to fuel that obsession. So for me, no contact is really a therapeutical way to heal from a breakup and to learn to be more detached. Very important, because from these two things, the pain and the addiction. The third thing is loss aversion. This one is a concept developed by Daniel Kahneman, who wrote an amazing book that I would recommend you to read. It's more economic, psychology of economics. Think fast and slow. He won a Nobel Prize for that. It's basically, we tend to value things that we lose more than we win. And so he did an experiment about, whether the appetite for loss and the appetite for win, and it's basically we are twice as more motivated to save something than we lose than to earn something new. Okay? And the impact on the contact, again, will trigger that fear of loss. This fear of loss, you're experiencing it too. Okay? The problem is that you didn't decide to break up, to end the relationship, and maybe you're suffering from that. But if you go no contact, if you don't hear from you, they will feel that fear of loss, that loss of aversion, that loss aversion. They will experience it too. It's very important for you to understand this. Again, this works if you were in a loving relationship where you did things right. Time without you will make your ex realize this. If your ex wasn't simply into you, then you're wasting your time and no contact won't bring him back. Chemical imbalance, another thing that you will see from looking at our brain after a breakup. When we break up from someone, there's a loss of oxytocin, dopamine that you get naturally from seeing someone. So oxytocin would be like hugging that person. Dopamine will be, for example, to have sex with that person. And so that's why it's very important for you to avoid anything that reminds you of your ex, because again, you're chasing that dopamine that we discussed before. Listening to sad songs. So it's very interesting, and I don't remember the study I read about that. People who are going through a breakup and have been in that situation, it's very interesting that we are driven to listen to sad songs. So we are very sad, we are depressed, and the first thing we want to do is to listen to sad songs, because I think we are looking for that intense emotions. Even though there are negative emotions, sometimes we are driven to feel this, because in a way it makes us feel alive. The problem is that it has some repercussion on your well-being, on your motivation. It could really, trigger some form of depression. You would basically have struggling to sleep and eat and stuff like that. The other thing as well is that, again, as we want to get this dopamine or this oxytocin rush, we want to stay in touch with our ex, because we feel like he gave me or she gave me so much. It's unconscious, obviously, that staying in touch with that person will give me, even if we're not in a relationship, if I can then tell a person of that, that's enough. The problem is that, again, you're going to create an imbalance, and that's going to really, really affect your well-being. And so there are ways for you to release endorphins, activities like sport, walking, mindfulness. The thing is, you've lost a big part of your life that was a good provider of those chemicals, those not protein, but those, what's the word? I forgot. The oxytocin and dopamine, and endorphins. Having activities will help you to get the same sort of amount. Of course, it's going to be different. It's different than being in a relationship, but that will help you to get those happy. I forgot the name of the word. Anyway, you get me. If you have the name, let me know in the section. Misremembering pain. Again, it's something I read the other day. Memory is susceptible to bias. And so they did a very interesting study. And so the way people perceive pain can change over time for the same event. So they would basically, I don't remember what they were doing, but I think we were putting them a patch or something on the arm that was painful. And they would ask them questions and sort of manipulate a little bit the story, and people will perceive the pain differently. So people can be misled, so that they mislead people to believe they experience less pain than they actually reported. And that's typical of breakup. The way you felt, the way your ex felt about you would be totally different from the day they announced that they wanted to break up to today, for example, if it's been a month of no contact. We all do that. We all forget the bad times, and we glorify the good ones. And again, it's taking into account that you've had a loving relationship. If you're not sure about whether you had a loving relationship, whether you have any chance of getting back with your ex, I put together a quiz, and the link is in the description, to give you an idea of whether you have any chance, whether you should pursue and invest time and energy trying to get back with your ex. If you have any other questions, you also have some links in the description, and you can comment as well and like the video. It does help me a lot. See you next time. Bye.
Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.